Drake responded to Kendrick Lamar, the hard part 6, after Kendrick took aim at Drake's own parents, son, security guard, label affiliates. Drizzy is now claiming that he intentionally fed false information to people in hopes that Lamar would unknowingly use it in a track.
That's a good thing, huh?
When you start talking about my girl, when you start talking about my kids, when you start talking about my household, now it changes. Now, you know, it's a problem.
Possibly the biggest rap battle yet is brewing right in front of our eyes. The top dogs, Drake and Kendrick Lamar, have been going at it for a few weeks now. Initially, things were cool between them as they featured on each other's songs. However, what began as a friendly rivalry eventually turned into an all-out beef, especially after Kendrick dropped a fiery verse on March 22nd in Future and Metro Boomin's album We Don't Trust You *. Kendrick didn't hold back, dissing Drake and Cole with lines like, "Yeah, get up with me, F sneak dissing. First-person shooter? I hope they came with 3 switches." And he didn't stop there. He also threw in, "Think I won't drop the location? I still got PTSD? F the big 3, it's just big me." Today, we're breaking down the ups and downs of what used to be a thriving competitive vibe between Kendrick and Drake. Looks like Drake decided to spill some tea on Kendrick and his fiancee's secrets. Before we dive into the latest drama, let's hit the rewind button and check out the backstory between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. These two started off on a good note, collabing on tracks and showing mad respect for each other. But as they climbed to the top of the rap game, things started to heat up. Knowing their history gives us a better grip on why their feud feels so intense now. So, let's take a step back and see how it all unfolded, shall we? Back in 2011, Drake really upped his game, going from a controversial newbie to a full-blown superstar with his first album. After tearing up the charts with his Thank Me Later campaign, everyone was curious if he could amp up his music even more. Take Care was his big thumbs up to all those skeptics, bringing back the vibes that rock So Far Gone and pulling in some heavy hitters, including the newcomer Kendrick Lamar. Just coming off the buzz from his Section 80, Kendrick was being hyped as the next big name from the West Coast. Drake hooked him up with a spot on the Buried Alive interlude. Riding that wave, Kendrick threw down lines like, "So blame it on Mr. Ovoxo / the reason why I'm breathing all the vanity I know." His confidence was off the charts, supercharged by the boost from Drizzy. Drake reached out again to Kendrick Lamar, fresh off his killer feature on Buried Alive, and brought him along with $1 AP Rocky to open for his Club Paradise tour. Drake even rapped about this decision in his 2016 track 4 PM in Calabasas, talking about how he pushed for Kendrick and Rocky instead of an R&B artist for the tour. After the Club Paradise tour wrapped up, $1 AP Rocky rounded up some of his rap buddies from the tour, including Drake, Kendrick, K. Dot, and 2 Chainz, to drop F'in' Problems. This track was just the beginning, as Kendrick and Drake teamed up again on Kendrick's debut album. Their track Poetic Justice was a smash, hitting number 26 on the Billboard Hot 100. Sadly, that turned out to be the last time Drake and Kendrick worked together. After Kendrick Lamar dropped his major label debut, Good Kid, Mad City, he was feeling pretty untouchable. He made that clear when he called out a whole lineup of rappers, including Drake, on Big Sean's Track Control. Kendrick didn't hold back, basically telling them he was out to dominate. "I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you guys / trying to make sure your core fans never heard of you guys. They don't want to hear not one more noun or verb from you guys." Drake didn't seem too shaken by Kendrick's bold challenge. When he appeared on the cover of Billboard that month, he shrugged it off saying, "It just sounded like an ambitious thought to me. That's all it was. I know good and well that Kendrick isn't murdering me at all, in any platform. So when that day comes, we can talk about it again." Kendrick kept up the heat at the 2013 BT Hip Hop Awards, where his crew TDE took the stage. Dropping bars over the Shook One's beat, Kendrick threw some more shade.
"I hate y'all. I do anything to replace y'all. Shout out to Face Mob. A ghetto boy till I'm unemployed with a day job. And kicking boxes. I kick ass and then kick knowledge. I'm way more polished than 99% of the scholars you thought had graduated."
In an interview with Vibe magazine, Drake opened up about his track The Language and why he felt he had to hold his own against Kendrick. He explained, "The whole thing turned into an issue when I was dropping an album, and that verse was all anyone could talk about. So, was I supposed to just pretend everything was cool? Just to be clear, I've never said he's a bad guy or that I don't like him. I actually think Kendrick is a freaking genius, but I had to stand my ground. I realized I was being baited, and I wasn't about to take the bait. It's like Michael Jordan doesn't need to play street ball to prove he's got game. No disrespect, but I'm not about to let this shake me. I feel great, and really, there's no issue here. At this time, Kendrick and Drake were really going at it in their songs. Kendrick took a swing at the rumors about Drake using ghostwriters in his track King Kunta, with lines like, "I can dig rapping slash, but a rapper with a ghostwriter? What the F happened?" Drake responded in the game's song 100, throwing out, "I would have all of your fans slash if I didn't go pop and I stayed on some conscious S." Kendrick didn't let up. He continued to fire shots on Dr. Dre's Compton album. He went deeper in Dark Side, Gone, and Deep Water. In Deep Water, he rapped some intense lines. They liable to bury him. They nominated 6 to carry him slash they worry him to death. But he's no vegetarian slash the beef is on his breath. Inheriting the drama better than a great white. This is life in my aquarium. Over the years, K. Drake and their mutual buddy J. Cole outpaced their rivals. In first-person shooter from Drake's latest album, For All the Dogs, Cole shouted out their status as hip-hop's Big Three. Drake even compared his own success to Michael Jackson's in the same track. Rumors flew that Kendrick was asked to jump on the song, especially after some of Drake's folks hinted at it, but Kendrick wasn't feeling the song's vibe at all. Then, in March, things really started to heat up.
I now have good authority to say that allegedly Drake hit up Kendrick, and First Person Shooter should have been a song with Drake, Cole, and Kendrick. Now, if you think about this entire timeline and beef with that in mind, makes sense. So First Person Shooter, Drake hit up Kendrick to say, "Hey, we got an open for you. It's me and Cole. Come holla at me. Do the song." Kendrick doesn't do the song. Then he hears the song, and the song is a bunch of niggas who's talking about me and you is a Spider-Man meme and blah, 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 blah. And he says, "Man, these bum-ass niggas who couldn't get a feature from me is now acting like they're number 1 and number 2. Fuck both of them."
Like, that is a track from Future and Metro Boomin's album, We Don't Trust You, and it's pretty much their way of throwing shade at Drake. Future's been laying low, but Metro Boomin hasn't been shy about blasting his feelings on Twitter and Instagram. In his verse, Kenny doesn't hold back, calling out Drake's song First Person Shooter directly, and even tossing in some dog references to mock Drake's album For All the Dogs. J. Cole got dragged into the mess just by being associated with them, even though Kendrick and Drake usually leave him out of their harsher beefs. Cole tried to hit back with a diss track of his own, but it was kind of lukewarm. He even ended up apologizing and backed off before it all got even messier.
So I'm so proud of that project, except for one part. It's one part of that shit that make me feel like, man, that's the lamest shit I ever did in my fucking life, right? And I know this is not what a lot of people want to hear. I know I can hear my niggas up there right now like, nah, don't do that. But I gotta keep it 100 with y'all, right? I damn near had a relapse, right? Because y'all heard some shit that happened 2-3 weeks ago, however long it was. Y'all heard that bazooka that was dropped on the motherfucking game, right? So all of this time of me moving on my own accord, for the first time I was tested. Why am I tested? Because I got the world and I got my niggas like, what you gonna do, Cole? My niggas like, boy, I must have had 1,000 missed calls. Oh my fucking God. Text flooded, I couldn't even answer my shit. Nigga, it's wartime, right? Niggas wanna see blood. And I was conflicted because, one, I know my heart, you know what I mean? And like, I know how I feel about my peers, these 2 niggas that I just been blessed to even stand beside in this game, let alone chase their greatness, right? So I felt conflicted because I'm like, bro, I know I don't really feel no way, but the world want to see blood. I don't know if y'all can feel that, but the world want to see blood. So I say all of that to say, in my spirit of trying to like get this music out, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I moved in a way that I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like I try to like jab my nigga back, and I try to keep it friendly. But at the end of the day, when I listen to it and when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit don't sit right with my spirit. That shit make me feel, that shit disrupts my fucking peace.
On April 13th, Drake clapped back with Push-Ups. The song came out amid beef from Future and Metro Boomin's albums We Don't Trust You and We Still Don't Trust You, which also featured The Weeknd, Rick Ross, and $1 AP Rocky, all teaming up against Drake. The track leaked first, stirring rumors it might be AI generated, but then Drake sent the final cut over to DJ Academics, who blasted it on his official YouTube page.
Give me 50, all you fuck niggas teaming up.
You smoking on Kendrick?
Wait, drop.
Wait, no fucking way I'm on the song. Am I on the song? I'm not on the song. I swear I'm on the song. Maybe that was my soundboard.
Drop and give me 50, all you fuck niggas teaming up.
You smoking on Kendrick?
Yeah, drop a 50 bag for the mob in a spot. Drop a 50 bag, 29 for the thought.
On the same day, Ross dropped his own diss track against Drake called Champagne Moments and kept poking at Drake online, calling him white boy and suggesting he's had some cosmetic tweaks. In Push-Ups, Drake's digs at Kendrick were pretty sharp, mocking Kendrick's size and cultural impact, claiming he got stuck in a bad deal with Anthony Top Dog Tiffith, and poking fun at his pop collabs with Taylor Swift and Maroon 5. The most shocking line? Drake said, "I'll be with some bodyguards like Whitney." That's a clever twist referencing Whitney Houston's movie The Bodyguard, but also hinting at Kendrick's fiancée, Whitney Alford, who appeared on the cover of Kendrick's album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers with their kids. It's a similar tactic to the one he used against Pusha T back in 2018, which ended up revealing that Drake had a child. That move really turned up the heat in their feud. On April 19th, Drake dropped Tailor Made, where he stirred up more drama with Kendrick Lamar. In the song, Drake talked about how the recent advances in AI technology had caused some confusion with his earlier track Push-Ups and other tracks that used AI-generated voices of Tupac and Snoop Dogg. He used this tech to prod Kendrick into responding, especially with Tailor Made, where he suggested Kendrick was too scared to drop new music while Taylor Swift was releasing her album. Drake played up a scenario where he, imitating the West Coast legends like Snoop, reminisced about a past concert where Snoop and other rap icons symbolically passed the torch to Kendrick. He also used Tupac's voice, Kendrick's well-known influence, to address potential jabs at Drake's controversial relationships with younger women, a topic that has sparked criticism towards Drake. He preemptively countered any criticisms about inappropriate behavior, which he has firmly denied. The line that really shook things up was Drake's, "You better have a motherfucking quintuple entendre on that S." It looks like Kendrick took that challenge to heart, with fans eagerly dissecting his dense and layered responses in his own tracks. Kendrick Lamar's track Euphoria rolls out over 6 minutes, with a vibe totally different from Drake's recent outputs. It kicks off with a Teddy Pendergrass sample, but quickly turns chaotic. Throughout the song and a few others that follow, Kendrick mixes deep thoughts with humor. He goes hard at Drake for things like collaborating with ghostwriters like Lil Yachty, rumors of cosmetic surgery to sculpt his abs, not responding to Pusha T's The Story of Adidon, and even questions Drake's dedication as a father compared to himself. Kendrick doesn't stop there. He even tries to label Drake as effeminate, with some lines that could be read as subtly homophobic. He also challenges Drake's connection to his black identity with pointed remarks like, "How many more black features till you finally feel that you're black enough?" By the end, it's clear Kendrick just straight up dislikes him. He also throws out some serious warnings to Drake, hinting he's got some heavy dirt on him, accuses Drake of potentially lying to smear his family, though he notes he's already put his family issues out there in his own music on Mr. Morale. He even holds back from deeper digs about the age controversies surrounding Drake's social circles. Kendrick raps, "I even hate when you say the N-word, but that's just me. I guess some stuff just cringeworthy. It ain't even gotta be deep, I guess." Here, Kendrick shows a surprising level of restraint, considering the intensity of their feud. On the morning of May 3rd at 6:16 a.m., Kendrick Lamar dropped 616 in LA, a move that felt like a direct nod to Drake's series of time-stamped songs. The track has a laid-back sound, featuring production by Kendrick's longtime Top Dog entertainment partner Soundwave and Jack Antonoff, who's known for working with Taylor Swift. Despite its chill vibe, the song carries a more eerie undertone. Kendrick digs into a theme that's been common in Drake's tracks: paranoia. He suggests that Drake's suspicion might be justified, but still hasn't kept him safe. The core of Kendrick's message is that someone close to Drake is spilling secrets that are then used against him. This echoes a similar sentiment from The Weeknd's line about leaks in their group on "We Still Don't Trust You," and Pusha T's revelation that he found out about Drake's son through someone close to Drake's producer, 40. Kendrick's lyrics get intense. If you were street smart, then you would have caught that your entourage is only to hustle you, rapping about the dangers within Drake's own circle. 100 in people that you got on salary, and 20 of them want you as a casualty, and one of them is actually next to you. This line hints at deep betrayal and mistrust within Drake's camp. By Friday night, Drake was ready with his comeback, Family Matters, which he hyped up on Instagram by flipping Kendrick Lamar's style from an interlude on Take Care to poke fun at him. On May 3rd at 8:50 p.m., things took a darker turn with Drake's Family Matters. This heavy-hitting track, spanning over 7.5 minutes and split into 3 parts, digs into some intense accusations. Drake alleges that Kendrick had been violent toward his fiancée, reigniting a disputed rumor about a domestic violence incident from 2014. He also stirred up personal drama, suggesting Kendrick's relationship had been troubled for a long time, and even claimed his business partner, Dave Free, might be the real father of one of Kendrick's kids.
Story about you, and I was like, there's no way this is true.
Yeah.
When they said you were in Vegas and you beat some guy bloody and you did something to some female, and they said they had evidence and all of this, and then I never heard anything about it again.
Yeah, because it's foolishness. That's the most ignorant stuff I've ever heard made up.
I was like, Kendrick did that? I doubt it.
And, you know, that person who ever made that up owes an apology. Not to me, but to women that actually go out there and get abused. You dig what I'm saying? That's a real issue. And to be putting a person name that you know, that stands for someone way more better, that's been raised way more better than that, that's not cool. There's people out there that really get abused, and there's women out there that get abused and don't say nothing and you know, live their lives through that. So that's
because I was like, I'm sure if that happened, there'd have been a police report. You would have been arrested.
That's foolishness. That's ignorant. That's all the way ignorant to 100%.
When you hear things in the news, certain things I believe about artists. That story, I didn't even think that was remotely close to.
But Drake didn't just focus on Kendrick. He took shots at several others. He called Metro Boomin a lame, mocked Future for following Metro, hit at Rick Ross for past rumors about being a corrections officer, threw homophobic remarks at The Weeknd, and dissed $AP Rocky for being good-looking but untalented and only famous for dating Rihanna. Drake also went all out visually, producing a music video that featured the destruction of a van like the one on Kendrick's Good Kid, Mad City album cover. He filmed part of the video at Toronto's New Ho King restaurant, a spot Kendrick taunted him about previously for a robbery incident in 2009. In the video, Drake flaunts a ring that once belonged to Tupac, referenced by Kendrick in Euphoria as something that would have Pac turning in his grave, and also shows off jewelry that once belonged to Pharrell, hinting at inheriting Pharrell's issues with Drake. The most shocking lines come with deep personal jabs. On some Bobby stuff, I want to know what Whitney need. All that puppy love was over in your late teens. Why you never hold your son and tell him say cheese? And then, Drake even hints at Kendrick possibly being cruel and even violent with his girl. They hired a crisis management team to clean up the fact that you beat on your queen. These lines not only provoke but also highlight the intensely personal level this feud has reached. Right after Drake released Family Matters, Kendrick Lamar seemed to hit back almost immediately with a track that felt like a direct response. The single's artwork itself hinted at a premeditated reply, showing a glove and items that looked suspiciously like Drake's personal belongings, including prescriptions for drugs labeled with Drake's real name. Kendrick's song is a barrage aimed at Drake's family, escalating to a shocking claim about Drake supposedly having an 11-year-old daughter he hasn't acknowledged. He takes harsh shots, telling Adonis, "It takes a man to be a man. Your dad is not responsive. I look at him and wish your grandpa would have wore a condom," suggests someone peed on Drake, and accuses him of paying for sex. He goes further, labeling Drake a gambling addict, sex criminal who dislikes black women, and warns Drake's famous friends like LeBron James and Steph Curry to steer clear. Kendrick even calls out Drake as a substance abuser and deadbeat dad who made the feud personal by dragging his family into it. Drake responded somewhat humorously to the unclaimed daughter allegation, posting on Instagram, "Can someone find my hidden daughter and send her to me PLS?" These guys are in shambles. The most stunning lines come as, "But I would like to say it's not your fault that he's hiding another child. Give him grace. This the reason I made Mr. Morale." On May 4th at 4:52 p.m., Kendrick unleashed another track, "Not Like Us," which felt like he was metaphorically dancing on the grave of Drake's spirit, chanting "Say OV Ho." This track was less harsh in tone than the previous, but it delved deeper into the disturbing allegations of sexual violence associated with Drake and his circle, calling them certified Ps and depicting Drake's home in the single's artwork as a haven for sex offenders. Kendrick criticized Drake for targeting Serena Williams and exploiting Atlanta rappers for personal gain, calling him a effing colonizer. He ominously hinted at more to come, with, "Rabbit hole is still deep. I can go further. I promise." The most shocking lines here were, "Why you trolling like a bee? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably a minor?" In a surprising twist, Drake alleges that his team deliberately fed Kendrick Lamar false information, like the rumor about having an 11-year-old daughter. In his The Heart Part 6, Drake counters in his lyrics, "You gotta learn to fact-check things and be less impatient. Your fans are rejoicing thinking this is my expiration," suggesting Kendrick was too quick to believe and used the misinformation. Drake also addresses the sensitive topic of minors in his track The Heart Part 6, explicitly denying any inappropriate connections, and unexpectedly brings up Millie Bobby Brown to clarify his stance. "Only messing with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I'd never look twice at no teenager." He tries to turn the tables on Lamar by suggesting Lamar is the one fixated on such themes. He points to Kendrick's own lyrics in the song Mother I Sober from Mr. Morale, where K-Dot discusses his family's accusations of sexual abuse and his own experiences of being doubted. Drake twists this, accusing Lamar of hypocrisy. "That's that one record where you say you got molested." Drake also brings up Kendrick's past controversial actions, like defending R. Kelly and XXXTentacion's music on Spotify in 2018, challenging his moral stance and accusing him of hypocrisy in dealing with artists involved in misconduct. K-Dot tweeted back in the day, "Listen to this album if you feel anything. Raw thoughts."
Thank you, Kendrick Lamar. I didn't wanna say anything to make him subject to any negative energy whatsoever, because people find some weird way to do that. But thank you again, and I appreciate you, and many blessings.
All right, so that's the scoop on the epic throwdown between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. These two giants in the hip-hop world have been trading jabs through slick verses and heavy bars, stirring up drama that's as intense as it gets. From rumored betrayals and personal digs to twisting old wounds into new lyrical missiles, they've really put it all out there. Each track drops like a new chapter in a saga that's got everyone hooked, waiting to see what the next move will be. Whether it's deep-seated issues or just the heat of competition pushing them, one thing's for sure. This feud has given us some of the most fire tracks and jaw-dropping moments in recent rap history.